Hello and welcome to Perfect Papers for Beautiful Boxes Volume 2, and this one works along with the template to make rectangular boxes, and it's very much one for the boys and the men throughout the papers. So pop the CD in, it runs on your Apple, Mac and your PC, and we'll just click to continue, and we come then to the main menu, and on that we can see the backing papers to the left and our rectangular cards, as I've called them here. So let's have a quick look at the backing papers here, and we've got 6 sets, and there are 80 in each one. So if I just say click on to set 1 here, we can see the main papers come up, and they follow the same as Perfect Papers, which was again much more of a floral based CD, that we have the main colour, as we can see here, and then we have a tinted paper, and then below that in full colour we've got our papers here, which can be used with the lip for the regular popping boxes that we do, as well as these rectangular ones as well. And while I'm here, if I can just show you, because this CD is not just about the using with the rectangular popping boxes, it's got a life outside of that. And so if we were to say take this paper here, this nice Art Deco one, we can use that, as you said, to see with our tab, coloured tab down the side here. But say you want to use it in a regular card, so if I go back here and we look at the same paper, we can use it, it's running that way, so we could make our cards, popping box cards, or even our any cards that you like, really. That's the nice thing. But we could also use it in a more traditional way by clicking onto the alternative paper, and then you can see here if it fits from a sort of portrait to landscape format. Now this is great because that means you've got a fantastic resource CD at your fingertips here, but you'll notice not all papers have got that, because in fairness, if there's a random pattern here, it really doesn't matter which way up the paper is. So you'll only find that on the papers where there's a very distinctive way that the paper should run. And again, as I said, that just enables you to make all sorts of cards as well. Okay, so in each set we've got full colour and the tint, and then we've got that with the tabs here, the colour coordinated tabs, again in full colour and tint. And in that we have 6 full sets, as you can see here. So I just click onto this one. Now in each set there's a little bit of everything. So the idea of this, I thought it would be nice just to be able to click through and just really have a whole range of things. Now it's not a bad idea to go back and click on, before I get back into that in a second, on this page here and just print it off. And then you've got a nice little visual reference of all the papers that you've got on the CD-ROM, and then from there you can go ahead and choose what it is that you want to use, which brings me back to my original line of thought and conversation, was that there's a really quite an eclectic mix on each panel. So I haven't put all the woods together, all the metals, a little bit of everything, so I think each one has its own sort of unique charm, and I'd just like to sort of mix and match them. So here we've got our guitars, again our alternative paper, but we've got things like our speakers here, which are great, some piping and tube there, through to these lovely sort of patterned metals, almost looks like speaker, to this, which is just rather like that, reminiscent of chainmail to me, or dragon skin, depending on how your imagination's running. And through to a little bit of florals, we've got our green leaves here, cameras, again alternative paper supplied with that, through to paint and brick walls. So said really a lovely mix, metallic papers, so each section will have something unique to it, and there'll be little themes that sort of run through here. We saw a little bit of guitar in the other one. Again, we've got some music here as well, musical score, we've got clocks, space rockets, jelly beans, all the way up to, again, we've got metallics and the woods as well. I rather like these sort of patterns that are created out of the woods grains, and that again will just be reminiscent and a sort of a thread of it running through on each of the sets somewhere. And again, we're back to guitars here, so a little bit of music creeping in. So something for everyone. Jelly beans, they're always nice. And again, some flowers, they just creep in occasionally as well. So it's each page, I hope, is a voyage of discovery for you. And each set rather, and again on to set 4. So we see we've got some animals. Again, the wood comes back into here. That with alternative sets, some beetles, phones. We've got a little bit of everything. This is one paper you might recognise. It's on the cover and on the CD. I rather like this. So we've got some nice geometric patterns, which again you'll find sort of scattered throughout the CD-ROM. And while we're having a look through, let's just have a quick browse at all of the sets, remembering of course that each of these come with the tint and the tab for making the cars as well. So we've got cameras again, quite retro-y here, Beetles. So each set has something in it, VWs, all the way through to butterfly scooters, a bit of marble, tools, and again some trees and some natural, I rather like this one, the stones as well, very much for a beach. Then we have set 6, the last one in this one, and again just a great mix from trainer shoes, great for teenagers, through to this wicker basket type affair. Halloween, some skulls there, my teenage boys seem to like those, through to chickens, mechanical papers, a little bit of everything, young and old as well. And we've got sort of nail heads here, nuts, and pager bolts as well there. And scattered amongst all of that are things like the geometric patterns here, which look rather nice when made up. Again, the colours tend to be a bit more masculine, slightly darker. And some younger papers as well, all scattered around. So each of these have a really sort of lovely mix for you. And then we work our way back and we come to the main menu. We just click back to there. And then we've got our rectangular cards, as I call them. These are our rectangular popping boxes. Now this works with the templates. Let me just click on, and we have 14 in the set here, and the main ones, set 1 and really set 2 as we could call it here, are more the boy themed, and then I've got 2 girl ones which again could be used for anything that you like. But let me just click on and show you first of all what we've got here. So each set will show you a basic snapshot from the page. Let's have a look at the train one. So with the train, we have the train itself, a station, a background, and some backing papers, and the coal here. And this is what you'd use with the template to make the rectangular popping box with. And you can see on here that mimics the shape of the template to create the back panel if you want to put a lid over it or a higher back panel on it. So if you just go through each of these, let's try the car here. Now it's worth having a little look through this. I've gone for sort of classic stroke retro here, a little bit of a Route 66, a slightly American feel, but we could put our classic cars on if we wanted to as well. And there's just additional things for embellishing the boxes, as we've got like the wheels here and other bits and pieces on there. But we've also got maps, road maps, UK road maps, if you want to go for a more traditional classic car. Look, again, this is just a starting point, a building block for you, but the prescriptive, calling prescriptive, i.e. I've got the images here already for you to use. But of course, you can use the basic papers and create anything that you want. So we're covering, hopefully, most of the bases. We've got our sports, our fishing, football, DIY, mechanics, cars, trains on that page. And coming back to here, we've got our golf, motorbikes, road bikes, vintage racing. Below that, F1 racing, MX off-road biking, and our dinosaurs as well. Again, there are hundreds and hundreds of subjects you could choose to work with here, but this is just a range that I've put together, which I think will give you a nice coverage of the cards, and you can add with them, put dies to it, or just create your own. And below that, we've got our floral one here, which is rather nice. We can just click on and create a lovely box card, rectangular box card with that. And then we've got our kittens as well. So that's just to use like kittens in a basket. You can put rabbits, puppies. It's really quite endless what you can do with it. Now, before we leave this page, I'd just like to show you the plaque section, because on the back of the box, you may need somewhere to write a greeting, and you can use these. These are text editable, and you can just simply click onto it, take a few seconds and highlight it, and then just type in the greetings that you want. And that, again, as it is text editable, you can change the size. I think it's Control E off the top of my head. I think it's Apple E for people using the Macs. And then you can change the point size, the style and the colour as well. Or you can highlight it and just delete it and handwrite something in if you want to as well. So all these options are available to you on that. And there we go. That gives you just a sort of quick overview of everything that you'll find on the CD. And it really is a fantastic resource CD to work with rectangular popping boxes. But of course, as I've said, you've got a fantastic resource to use with any of your other crafting projects. The papers here will work on the regular popping box cards, both large and small, and any other cards that you want to work with as well. So it really is nice to have it there, very much a boy themed one. I know you ladies say you struggle with cards for men, so hopefully this is going to fill a niche for you. Anyway, I hope this gives you a fairly good oversight of what you can expect out of the CD-ROM, which I think makes a perfect complement to the template and dies. Anyway, enjoy your crafting, take care, have fun, bye bye.